are to be retried in a civilian court. The medics were arrested after treating anti-government protesters. Last week, a military court sentenced the workers to up to 15 years in prison. Now, we'll be speaking to a former Bahraini opposition MP who was in the hospital with the medical staff at the time in just a moment. First, though, this report from Nadim Baba.
Some of the 20 Bahraini medics given jail sentences last week for their alleged roles in anti-government protests. Military courts found them guilty of seizing Bahrain's main public hospital, of seeking to overthrow the government, and of choosing which patients to treat based on religion and political allegiances. Now they're to get a retrial in a civilian court.
I think it's an amazing and a fantastic news. This is what we've been asking for. This is what we want, to reopen the investigation. We want to clear our names. Finally, I feel that the truth will come out in front of the whole world. Finally, our names will be clear, and the true criminals who did crimes, with the proofs we have, they should be brought to justice, not us.
The medics received jail terms ranging from 5 to 15 years, sentences criticised by human rights groups who still have questions about the retrial.
Will it, for example, listen to all the defendants? Will it dismiss all the confessions that were taken as a result of torture? Will it allow the lawyers to bring in all the new defense witnesses and maybe even the old defense witnesses as well?
Bahrain's state-run news agency released this video showing doctors and nurses amid the crowds of protesters outside Salmaniya Hospital.
Some medical and paramedical staff got involved in activities that sharply clashed with standard medical work and ethics.
In February, Al Jazeera filmed medics treating casualties after police broke up the pro-democracy protest camp at Pearl Roundabout. Authorities say 24 people, including 4 policemen, were killed in this year's unrest. The opposition puts the death toll at 30. The medics insist there's a complete lack of evidence against them. For now, they're free to try to clear their names. Nadim Baba, Al Jazeera.
Well, for more on this, we're joined in the studio by Ali Al-Aswad. He's a member of the Islamic National Accord Association and a former opposition member of parliament in Bahrain. Mr. Al-Aswad, thank you very much for joining us. First of all, let's just get some clarity from what you understand. Is this a retrial? Is it an appeal? Do we know? Are we going to be told?
Well, to be honest with you, it's, I mean, even the lawyers, they are confused. They didn't know exactly what was the clear statement, whether it is appeal or before going to the civil court, I mean, to the civil court for the appealing, they might revise it in the public prosecutions. So they announce it, they said there was some evidences. They need to look at these evidences, whether this evidence is, I mean, enough to take them to the high court for the appealing or not. While the actual things, the military courts, they relied on the only the secret evidence, they call it, and from that secret evidence only they gathered all this information.
So we don't really know what evidence is going to be used from the military court, if any witnesses, we don't know any of that.
There was no evidences. All the lawyers, they said the same thing. Even the physicians, they said we were waiting for the evidences to be shown. I mean, what we have done inside the Salmaniya Hospital, the medical center, I mean, was like treating the casualties, dealing with the protesters when they are, I mean, falling down because of the National Guard, how they are dealing with the protesters there. So they were doing their job only there in the Salmaniya Hospital.
I mean, that's certainly open a door.
And they are civilian. They are civilian. Why they are taking them to the military courts, by the way?
Well, why do you think that now this appeal, retrial, whatever, has been announced? Because it does open a door to reverse the sentence.
Yeah, I think a lot of pressure comes from the international and from the NGOs. I mean, many of the international, even the countries, the United States, United Nations, United Kingdom, all of them, they were asking Bahrain authority, I mean, why these sentences goes to the physicians. I mean, physicians have done no crimes. No crimes have been done by the physicians or any other things against to the Bahrain Constitution, for example. You know, Bahrain Constitutions even give them the right to shows. I mean, the court has to be like announced, and everybody has to see the how it goes from the beginning. While it is not, even the physicians themselves, some of them they were sleeping, and they took them to the courts at night time. And after a certain time, only a day before, they came to know what is their...
You were actually with the medics at the time, if I'm not wrong. Just tell us what you saw.
I mean, where? In Salmani Medical Center, right? I don't know on what period you are talking about, but from February, when I was there, like in February, some casualties, I mean, this... the ambulance to the Pier roundabout, and they themselves been inside the to the Pier roundabout, and they try to treat the injured.
In the country itself after this news.
They don't have trust. They don't trust us. They say we are not sure what's going to happen. I mean, you know, there are some politicians and some teachers and students, from the university as well, the students, they are dealing with them in the military courts. They are not in the civilian world. All of them, they are civilian.
Ali Al-Aswad from the Islamic National Accord Association and former opposition MP in Bahrain, thank you very much for joining us.